So now I'm assuming that we have this web API application or whatever application you want to use to write the unit test cases. But let's focus on the ASP.NET Core Web API first. So assuming that we have the ASP.NET Core Web API application. Now let's talk about how can we create the unit test case project over here. Okay, so over here I have to add a new project. Unit test case is a new project in itself, but there are few types of project that we can use to write our unit test case. In this entire course, I will be focusing on xUnit. xUnit is something that is used by almost all the major applications. Now, how do we do that? In this case, I'm using the Rider editor, but the same concept is applicable on other editors also. If you are using the VS Code, if you are using the Visual Studio, the same concept is applicable. How do we do that? So we are having this solution file. Right click on the solution file, click on this add and choose this new project over here. There are a few UI related changes over here. You can notice that we are having this unit test case over here on the left hand side. You can notice web, AI extension, services, unit test case. So how do we pick the best name for our unit test case application? The best is pick the same name that you have for your main application. So it means here I'm writing this library API, okay, dot unit tests. This is the best naming convention that you can have in your application. Then you can pick your directory. So usually we save all these things in the same directory. So I'm using the same directory over here. What is the target framework? It is .NET 10. This is coming from the SDK 10. What is the programming language over here? We are having this C#. What is the type? So let's see what we have over here. We are having several types over here. MS Test is the default which is coming from the Microsoft. This NUnit is also another type of project. This xUnit is an open source and almost everyone use this xUnit. Let's use this. Do we have anything in the template description? This is just the description over here, advanced settings. Nothing major changes over here. If you are using the Visual Studio, you will also see the similar experience. If you will type the xUnit in the search bar, you will get the proper UI. You can pick the xUnit over there and this project name, project directory is by default over there as well. So everything is done. Let's click on this create button. Alright, so now you can notice that in your solution we have two projects. One is the main project and this is the unit tests project. Why we are using this unit test projects over here? This is because in future if you want to write the integration test cases or the end-to-end test cases, then you can add those names as suffix to your project. So for example, tomorrow I'm writing the integration test cases. So what can I pick? Library API dot integration tests, like that. So let's see what we have in this new project now. So we are having some dependencies and this unit test 1.cs file. This is very basic file over here, but very important file. So what do we have? We have a namespace, a class, fact. This is something new that we have over here. Public void test1, and this is a very basic method. Now let's just remove this file also and see how we can set up the structure for our application. So I'm going to click on this edit and delete. We don't need it. But remember, we have opted for that xUnit type. So I want to see what special is there in this project type. And we can figure out that by using the CSPros file. Right now you can notice this is just a class library project. There is nothing extra over here. So right click, if I go to the edit, and this is the CSPros file. This is something extra over here that is coming from the template. So what do we have? This is the target framework. This is the implicit using nullable is packable. What is this? For example, if you are writing a library and you are writing the unit test cases for that library, when you will package your entire code, this unit test case will not be the part of that library. This is for that. So this is just for the unit test cases, not for the packaging. Then we have some NuGet packages over here. What are the packages? We have the first one, second one, third one, and the fourth one. What are the use cases of all these packages? So this package is used to identify the unit test cases. This is the main package that is coming from the xUnit. This one is used to run your unit test cases. And this package is used to figure out the total code coverage by your unit test cases. These are some very important concepts that we will learn gradually. Now tell me one thing. What will happen if instead of picking that xUnit type, if I create a very basic class library type project over here and add all these packages manually, it is ultimately same. So you can do that also. How do you do that? Create a new class library application over here. Don't use any test case, don't pick any xUnit, nothing like that. Simply add these extra properties over there. So this is packable, and these are some NuGet packages that you can use from the NuGet. You can also use the .NET CLI, .NET add package, the name of your package, or you can also use the proper GUI. It is up to you. Now let's talk about what should be the structure of our unit test cases in this unit test project. So before that, let's open the main application. And the simplest way is that just replicate all the folders over here. So if you are going to write the unit test case for your controllers, create a new folder over here with the same name controllers. If you are going to write the unit test cases for your helpers, create a same name over here, helpers. So for example, let's create a new folder over here. Here I'm writing add, and let's create a new directory. This is just a folder. I'm writing the controllers. Let's add one more folder over here for helpers. So right click on this project name, add directory. Here I'm writing the helpers. Super simple so far. So similar to all the folders that we have, we can create all the folders at this place. Now, if I expand the controller, you can notice we are having this books controller. Okay. Now let's right click over here, add a new class at this place. Here I'm writing books controller. Just simply add tests over here. So TESTS. That's the only thing you have to do. Similar to what we did in our project. In project name, we were using unit tests. But this time, we already know that we are writing the unit tests. So let's just suffix only the tests over here. And this is going to be the class. Enter button. That's it. This is how you have to structure or organize your unit test cases. If you are having more than one controllers over here, then for example, you are having one employee controller or you are having one admin controller, then you can add more files over here, admin controller tests.cs, like that. If you are having two or three, you can write all of them over here. If you have divided your controllers in several folders, then make sure to create all the folders over here. Simply just a replica of your main application should be over here. We will not write anything over here in this books controller for now. We will write all these unit test cases in upcoming videos. Now let's see how do we handle this helpers first. So we are having four files over here. We are having this math helper.cs, string helper.cs. Let's create some files for all of them. So here I'm writing this math helper tests. Simple. Click over here. You can notice that we are having this class. Let's create one more, and this time it is going to be string helper. In the next video, we will talk about how to write our first unit test case.